welcome back to the channel. It is early this morning and I'm tired, but the show must go on. So we are going to be taking a roast beef and noodle recipe and switching it over to chicken. And so we're doing a chicken and noodle recipe. No, it is not chicken noodle soup or any of those other things. If you do want a chicken noodle soup recipe that with homemade noodles, I do have a recipe like that I did maybe a year ago or so, around this time or even before then. Sometimes I like to change up my noodles too. So we are going to do a different type of noodle, which the noodle that we're going to do is gluten-free, of course. So let's get started. First off, you want to get a chicken ready to go here. I am going to pressure cook my chicken because I need a good, it's a young one. I get it from Costco. I don't know how many pounds it is. It's not very big. Doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of meat on it. It does have the skin on it, so I am keeping the skin on it. What you do want to do is wash it off, take the neck out if there is a neck. This one doesn't have a neck. The cool thing about these ones is that for some weird reason, Costco has different kinds of ones, or used to, but I don't know if somebody complained or whatever, but they don't have the neck. They don't have any of the gizzard stuff, all that stuff. If they do, I just give it to my dog because he likes that. So anyway, you want to take your chicken, you want to wash it, you want to take it out of the package, you know, all that stuff, so it's ready to go. As far as that, and then what I did is I chopped up some onion for flavor because we're gonna make a broth that the noodles are going to go in. Now, the original recipe is with beef, and you take the water and you dump it like several times, and you have to keep filling it up, and you keep the broth on the side of the counter and all these things. Well, I'm not gonna do all that stuff, and that's okay. You can do that if you want to with the original recipe, but I'm just not gonna do it because it's faster to do it this way, because then it makes it a lot more flavorful. So I took a whole entire bowl of garlic and I'm gonna put that in here. I love garlic and I love the flavors, so I'm gonna do that. Took 2 sprigs of rosemary, which seems like a lot, but after, you know, peeling off, and these things are so big, and then 2 sprigs of thyme, and that's all in there. And I already pre-chopped it up for you guys, so you don't have to watch me, you know, get things off the stick, because that takes time too. But you would want to, you know, do all this stuff in the morning so that you have it ready to go. One of the other things that you are going to need too is going to be some salt. Sorry, my salt is all clumped up. You want to just sprinkle a bunch of salt in there. Season your chicken, get it ready to go. The other thing that we're going to do is we're gonna put some, now you can do things a couple different ways. If you're on a budget, you can, you know, fill this up with water and it will work just fine. It will give you one of the best flavors that you can ever taste, because of all the extra. But I'm gonna actually add chicken broth in here, and I'm gonna put chicken broth all over this, and it actually makes the meat really tender too. You can roast the chicken first if you want to. Honestly, it tastes more tender, I think. if you cover it like this with the chicken broth and stuff, this is all gonna come out of here anyway. And we're gonna put it through a strainer to get all the rosemary and stuff out of here, because we're using all of this right now for flavor. And I think there's turmeric in this chicken broth and some carrot flavoring and some celery and stuff like that. If you want to go all out and do all that stuff, you definitely can. Okay, there's no rules. And that's usually what I do when I do my chicken broth anyway, is sometimes I'll put celery in it because I hate celery, but it tastes so good with the flavorings, and that kind of thing. So about 2 of them out of the box. I have a whole box of them. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pressure cook this thing for a couple hours. I am going to be leaving here pretty soon to go to a couple appointments and stuff like that. So this is a good recipe to kind of do in between all of your appointments. So I'm gonna do a 2-hour pressure cook, and now it is ready to go. You can put, you know, some pepper in here if you want to put some pepper, you know. I will be putting pepper in here later anyway, whenever we do our noodles, because it makes it taste good. One of the other things that it is really missing, which I might go to the store and get, is a bell pepper. The original recipe does have a green bell pepper in it for the meat. I think for the beef original recipe. And so if you want to do that, you can. It's no big deal. But it does have that, and it does give it a different kind of flavor if you do get that. So let's set up this area for a pressure cooker, actually. Come on. So we've got our settings on zero. It always does that every time. This is a Ninja. I love these things. They work really well. But you can use whatever you want, your Instapot or whatever. Pressure. I always put it on high, and then we're gonna put our two hours. Make sure your thing is on to not leak. Press start. There you go. So Anyway, we'll get this one going. I'm gonna enjoy a little bit of a breakfast, and that way I can get on to my appointments for the day. So you guys I'll see you back in a little while, and we will be making our noodles next. So this is a perfect time to do a chicken and noodles today. So I have everything in the pot. It is on sear. I just left the pot overnight because it looked like to get all the juices and everything out of there. So that is what we're going to do right now. Is there's two of these things in there. I think this is 32 ounce. Yeah, 32 ounce of chicken broth. So there's two of those, and then the leftover from the chicken from yesterday, the leftover broth that we strained. So let's do the chicken part of things. So what I do usually is just set the chicken aside, one after the other, and I basically just take the chicken and leave the bones out, and it's nice because now it's easy to handle. Leave the skin out. Try not to put any of the skin in there either. And we're just gonna put some pieces of the chicken in here. You can also do this with turkey. I got this recipe from an ex-mother-in-law that I used to have a long time ago. It was like 20 something years ago. And it was beef. And I think she did a chicken one time. And man, that one was really good. She didn't make a whole bunch. It was either chicken or turkey, and I can't remember which one it was. But she didn't put the chicken back in here, okay? So I don't know, like, where the chicken went. It was either chicken or turkey, and whatever it was, the meat didn't go back. But we are putting the meat back in here. So maybe she used them for sandwiches. Maybe she put them on the side. I can't remember. It was like 20 something years ago. And I'd rather forget divorces. You know how that goes. If I think real hard, I probably could figure it out. But honestly, who wants to think real hard about that? Now you can serve this, sorry, excuse me. You can serve this by itself, which a lot of times I just eat it by itself. You can chop up carrots and put some carrots in there if you want to. You can put some extra vegetables with it if you want to. I just don't. I just eat it the way it is. It happens to be one of those weeks where I just have a high protein week, I guess. You can incorporate a salad, some potatoes next to it. You know, we've had potatoes too, and like mix it in, and ooh, so good. I guess that's the reason why I was supposed to get potatoes. But potatoes are kind of starchy, so I don't know why. I don't think I ever went back and got the potatoes. I got distracted by clothing or something at Costco. You know how that goes. Costco and me, man, we're friends. But a pocketbook is not friends with Costco because I end up spending too much money. So I have to go with a list and pay attention to my list. And that was on my list, but I think I compromised for something else. So anyway, it is what it is. What can I say? Compromise for something else. Okay, I think that's all of it. So it's not a very big bird to use. And then of course, disregard all of your stuff in the trash. Make sure your dog doesn't get it because they can't have cooked bones. They can have raw bones. Okay. So what's up with this thing? So we have our pieces of chicken, and sometimes they get a little shredded. That's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm gonna taste it. It needs like lots of salt. So we're gonna put some salt in here. I'm gonna put some garlic in here. We're putting the onion powder in here. I think I'm gonna put some parsley in here. So much better. All right. So we're gonna start putting in all the noodles. You want your broth to be hot. before you stick these in, because otherwise they're just gonna smush all together. And just don't stir it too much, okay? Just stick it in there. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some flour and I'm gonna put and make a little roux here, because this is gluten-free flour. Sometimes it doesn't thick up the sauce very well. I'm also just gonna add a little bit of butter to it. I know, I'm trying to be healthy, I know, but you just want to sit here and get it all nice and all the edges and everything. Make sure that it's not clumpy. I think it needs more. And I like to use the broth because if you use water, it's just gonna make it blander. Okay, now I'm gonna put the lid on. Make sure it's on that seal. We want it unbent. And I'm gonna switch this to slow cook because I don't want to sit and babysit it all day. And I'm gonna put it on for about 4 hours is the minimum, but I'm gonna come back and check it like after an hour and see how it's doing. This is probably not gonna take 4 hours to cook, just because of the fact that it doesn't usually take that long for the noodles to get all nice and cooked together. I am keeping the roux by itself over off to the side for later, in case I need it. We're gonna cook it through first in the liquid, and then we're gonna add the roux and see how it goes. So it is quite a little bit of a process, but if it is a snowy day, you probably are not out anyway. So see how snowy it is outside. So I did leave it in there for about 3 hours, I guess, because I fell asleep. So it does actually look pretty good. There's a little bit of a sauce to it, which is nice too. So, and it tastes really good because I had a little bit of it. So there you go, nice and yummy. I did put a couple scoopsfuls of the thickener in there. You can make it a little thicker if you want to, because it's not really like a soup. It's more like kind of like a gravy in a way. So it tastes really yummy. So guys, thanks for watching today's video on our roasted chicken and noodles. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. It is a snowy day, wonderful enough to actually eat this. So I'm going to grab myself a bowl here in a little while, and I'm going to probably take a nap because, man, for some weird reason, I all of a sudden got really tired. So we will see you guys next week for more exciting fun. I don't know if there's going to be a project or not next week. We'll have to see, or actually technically it will be this week. We'll have to see. It's really cold outside. I don't feel comfortable mixing up cement, grout and all that stuff on the inside with all that, and you know, you have to wear a mask, and I like to do my PPE stuff. So outside is the best place possible for that. I have a new mixer and everything, so we may just paint our cabinets and do some simple things this weekend. Or we might just see what happens next weekend. We'll have to see how that goes. We might do more cooking videos because of the fact that there is just so much stuff going on. We need some relaxation in our lives, and sometimes it costs a lot of money to be doing all these projects and stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you guys inspire to do something wonderful in your life, no matter what it is, and inspire other people to do something wonderful in theirs. We'll see you next time on Inspire the Simple Life, and have a wonderful rest of your week.